Good afternoon and welcome to Word on Wearside. I'm Ethan Lowison-Marshall.
And I'm Cameron Welburn. Coming up on the show, a teenager has died after a night out in Newcastle after taking suspected MDMA.
Also, a plea for information after a horse was brutally killed in a Sunderland field.
Plus, Sunderland managed their first Premier League win of the season at the weekend.
And a diner with a difference in Sunderland has been named the most pet-friendly in the UK. But first, a Sunderland food bank have said a new benefits cap which came into force today will hit families in Sunderland hard.
The cap will limit the income and working age households can receive in certain benefits.
The amount's been reduced from £26,000 a year to £20,000 across the UK, Word on Wearside's Beth Smith reports.
George Thompson from Roker has only been on housing benefits since being out of work 6 months ago and says this cap is a disgrace.
I've worked all my life and I never thought I would land up on benefits, but I did. And this cut has devastated the way I feel. I don't think we'll be able to manage, and I don't know, I'm a proud man again.
This cap limits the income households receive in certain benefits. It's been reduced from £26,000 to £20,000 a year outside of London.
Another concern for me is what about all the single parents who's got children, family to look after? Are them going to get by? They can't afford to live now without even, it's really sad.
Sheila Bamber runs the food bank at Sunderland Minster and is equally appalled.
We are a point of referral for people who are in need of food and who can't be helped by the council, who have a very comprehensive scheme, but there are people who fall off the bottom of there, and we refer them out to food banks across the city. I think that food banks should be abolished forever, not because we don't need them, but because we shouldn't need them. That's my honest opinion. So I think that the benefits cap this morning will put more pressure, even more pressure, on low-income families, and there will be a kick-up in the use of food banks because that's one way that people can actually be helped to make ends meet when times are difficult.
And I think the government should be really ashamed of themselves what they're doing. They're destroying families and everything. It's so sad, so sad.
Beth Smith, Word on Wearside, Roker.
Next tonight, a teenage girl in Newcastle has died after taking what police believe was an illegal drug.
At around 4:30 a.m. during the early hours of Sunday, police received a report that an 18-year-old girl had fallen ill at the Warehouse nightclub in Byker and later died.
3 people have now been arrested in connection with police inquiries, as Madison Petro reports.
Police were called to the Warehouse nightclub just before 5 on Sunday morning, following reports of a girl falling ill. She was taken to hospital by paramedics, but her condition deteriorated rapidly and she died. Reporting from Warehouse nightclub in Byker. Police have declined to be interviewed today, but Chief Inspector Phil McConville advises anyone who was at the nightclub and may have been drugged to go to hospital immediately and get checked out. Police say they will continue to inquire into the woman's death, and if anyone has information about who supplied the drugs, contact the police immediately. Police have not established exactly what substance the young woman had, but they believe she died from MDMA, also called ecstasy. This is an illegal energy-inducing drug that can be in tablet, powder, or crystal form. Effects of the drug include temporary feelings of love and affection, anxiety, paranoia, and even psychosis. When the drug is slipped into a drink, it is odorless, colorless, and tasteless, making it difficult to recognize. To protect yourself from being drugged, don't leave your drink unattended, make sure you see your drink being poured, and make sure you and your friends check up on each other.
Medication has been stolen during a burglary at a pharmacy in Sunderland.
Around 8:30 on Sunday morning, police received a report of a burglary at Milton Pharmacy on Hilton Road.
10 different types of drugs were stolen, while around £600 and 3 laptops and 2 computer-based units were also stolen during the burglary.
Police are issuing a warning of taking drugs not prescribed to them.
Elsewhere, police say they are continuing to work with the RSPCA after a horse killed in Clevedon.
On Thursday evening around 8 p.m, police were called to Clevedon Lane where a Shetland pony was found dead after suffering multiple injuries.
It's believed the incident was deliberate and the RSPCA and the police are carrying out inquiries.
Word on Wearside's Elizabeth Dominic has more.
Wendy George, the owner of the pony who was killed on November 3rd, has issued a 1,000 reward for anyone with important information about the incident. Wendy wrote on her Facebook page, "I've been contacted by a lovely businesswoman who has put up 1,000 reward for information that could lead to the conviction of the person responsible for Bobby's death." A donation page has also been set where people can contribute towards the reward to help find the person responsible. Wendy went on to say, "Please keep sharing. All money raised, every penny will go toward a reward to anyone who can bring justice for my innocent little man." The funding page has raised over £1,400 so far. Please donate if you can. Neighborhood Inspector John Smith said this is a horrific attack on a poor Shetland pony, and although we can't definitely rule out an animal attack, the nature of the injuries on the horse suggests that someone has done this. RSPCA Inspector Heidi Cleaver said the injuries are almost too horrific to mention. Anyone with any information into the attack can also contact police on 101, quoting reference number 1050.
Next, it's understood the government is preparing a bill for Parliament to begin the process of leaving the European Union.
It's after last week when the High Court ruled that MPs must have vote on triggering Article 50, although ministers are appealing.
And Theresa May has vowed that she won't let her hands be tied in negotiating a post-Brexit future for Britain.
While Jeremy Corbyn's threatened to vote against Article 50 if there's no guarantee of access to the single market.
Well, word on Wearside's Luke Stewart joins in the studio now. Obviously, we've had quite a lot about Brexit in the news recently, and obviously this ruling. What more can you tell us on this?
Well, as you know, Theresa May was brought in by the High Court and she tried to appeal to this. She's basically trying to appeal and she wants Brexit to happen a lot quicker. However, the High Court has ruled that is not going to happen anytime soon.
So what does this mean then? Is Brexit actually going to happen? What's going on? And what does Brexit actually mean, isn't it? That's what we've heard a lot about, isn't it? We've heard a lot from Theresa May, Brexit mean Brexit. But what is Brexit? Will it actually happen?
It seems very, very much up in the air at the moment because with what's going on, with what the High Court has just ruled, it's very unknown about what's going to happen. However, it's not just the fact that there are MPs and MEPs across the whole of the United Kingdom who have very mixed feelings about this ruling, mostly from the North East. Practically 3/4 of the MPs from the North East think that they should be allowed to vote later on. However, 2 MEPs from the North East, called Jude Kitron Darling and Paul Brennan, they have said that they think that the fact that they are not allowed to vote is the best thing for the entire country.
And we actually got a statement, didn't we, from the 2 MPs, 2 Labour MEPs, Jude Kitron Darling and Paul Brennan. And what were they kind of saying on this then?
They felt that the fact that they were not able to vote and the fact that the government had decided, basically the entire Brexit situation should just be left alone. They felt that it was the best thing for the whole UK.
Okay, thanks Luke.
Well, still to come, Doggy Diner in Sunderland receives a national award.
We'll be looking back at this year's Sunderland's Illuminations.
Plus, all your day sport with Mathuma.
And Beth has the weather forecast.
First saw some news in brief, and a man's been charged with causing death by dangerous driving after a fatal collision in County Durham at the weekend. A 50-year-old man died at the scene on Salters Lane in Shotton Colliery on Saturday after a Seat Ibiza and a BMW 320 collided. A 26-year-old man from Hutton Henry will appear at Peterlee Magistrates Court today, while 2 other men aged 28 and 33 were arrested on suspicion of assisting an offender. They've been released on police bail.
Tesco's banks confirmed it fell victim to an online hacking attack, with some customers having money stolen from their accounts. Chief Executive Benny Higgins says more current accounts were subject to online criminal activity over the weekend. The bank was earlier forced to block some customers' cards after suspicious activity was detected in its fraud prevention system.
MPs are making a surprise inspection at Sports Direct's headquarters in Derbyshire. The company says members of the Business and Energy Select Committee have arrived at the factory in Shirebrook this morning, while founder at Newcastle United owner Mike Ashley isn't there. The company has been heavily criticised for its employment practices, including controversial 0-hours contracts.
A student who made a fake John Lewis Christmas ad for his A-level coursework has been praised by the retailer. Nick Jablonka's media assignment has been viewed 500,000 times online. Many people thought it was the real thing, and now Nick's been invited to see how the group's real adverts are made.
Next, new rules for car parking in Sunderland are due to come in force from next month.
Traffic wardens will be patrolling the streets until 10 p.m. after the council announced plans to enforce parking regulations.
Word on Wearside's Christopher Larmouth has this report.
It has been announced that traffic enforcement hours are to be extended until 10 p.m. for traffic wardens across Sunderland.
Sunderland City Council announced the plans last week to step up on evening and weekend enforcements on parking regulations.
The enforcement hours are set to begin on Thursday, December 1st. The plans follow further reviews of service and feedback received by the council.
Councillor Michael Morday, the City Council's portfolio holder for city services, said the council has been looking at parking enforcement and the services it provides. While the council regularly reviews and monitors all its services, the council has had questions about whether there could be more enforcement. The council has considered those points, and the introduction of evening enforcement will address the concerns that have been raised. These extra enforcement hours can help address the concerns, introduce more consistency, and help businesses, householders, public transport operators and users, pedestrians, cyclists, and of course the emergency services. The council already enforces restrictions when there are major events on, such as SAFC home games. If you are a driver and road user that parks legally and does not flout any regulations, then there's absolutely nothing to worry about.
Certain areas in Sunderland will benefit from the extended hours more than others, especially areas that are filled with the likes of local businesses, householders and emergency services.
A penalty charge of £50 may be given to a vehicle that has overstayed for a period of time, whereas a £70 fine may be given to a vehicle observed on a yellow line.
In Sunderland city centre, there are more than 1,500 parking spaces, and the parking is free after 6 p.m. at the majority of surface car parks.
I'm Christopher Larmouth, reporting for Word on Wearside.
Now it's time to get up to date with all the day's sport, and Masuma Begum joins us now in the studio, and it was good news for Sunderland at the weekend, Masuma.
Sure was. It was a delight for Sunderland fans this weekend as the team managed their first Premier League win of the season. The Black Cats beat Bournemouth 2-1 on Saturday despite being down to 10 men. Jermaine Defoe scored the winner with a penalty with just over 15 minutes to go, while manager David Moyes had to watch from the stands while serving a touchline ban and said the first Premier League win will give his players some much needed confidence. Interim England manager Gareth Southgate won't commit to whether Harry Kane is going to start against Scotland on Friday. The Tottenham striker returned from injury in their 1-1 Premier League draw with Arsenal yesterday and is in contention for this week's World Cup qualifier as a result. Southgate's also revealed he's named a bigger than usual squad because Theo Walcott's wife is due to give birth.
And it was good news for Andy Murray this weekend.
Certainly was. Britain's Andy Murray is now officially the best tennis player in the world. He's replaced Novak Djokovic as world number 1 this morning. It's the first time the Wimbledon champion's ever been top of the rankings. Murray will find out who he's playing in the group stages at the World Tour Finals later this afternoon. There's one game in the FA Cup first round tonight with non-league Southport playing League One side Fleetwood. The second round draw takes place before the match.
And we've also got some rugby to round off this tonight's sport, Masuma.
Sure do. Former England and Scotland Rugby Union head coach Andy Robinson has left Premier Club Bristol with immediate effect. He was suspended as Director of Rugby on Thursday, with Mark Tainton appointed as acting head coach. The club have lost all 10 matches this season since being promoted from the Championship. Back to Ethan.
Okay, thank you very much, Masuma, for all today's sport. Next, a diner with a difference has won an award.
A diner for dogs in Sunderland has won the Kennel Club Award for the UK's most dog-friendly cafe or restaurant.
The cafe opened last summer. Instead of serving cupcakes and muffins, it serves pupcakes and wuffins. Word on Wearside Yolanda Branch has been checking it out.
Dogs are man's best friend. You can take them for walks, you can take them to the parks, and now you can take them for a cuppa at an award-winning cafe. The Doggy Diner on Sea Road in Sunderland is a dog-friendly cafe catering for both human and hound, and have recently been awarded the UK's most dog-friendly cafe restaurant by the Kennel Club.
I mean, we never thought we would actually ever achieve anything like this, because it is a national award and not just regional. So when we were nominated for it, we thought, we'll not win it, and then when we were told we did, it was just amazing.
After being open just since last summer, the Doggy Diner already has its usual customers, including this playful pup.
We're a new business, so this is just amazing for us to achieve it, because there is a lot of dog-friendly places around, but being a dog cafe, we're sort of out on our own at the moment, and it's just setting an example for other things, or for other people to maybe go into business with us, because we've got, at the moment, we've got a franchise available. So if anybody's interested in owning a doggy diner wherever you are in the country, you just need to speak to us, and that's available.
But some dogs and their owners travel far and wide to visit this place.
People like that come on holiday, that come to visit relatives, but we do get people that do really travel, and we're astounded when they come in and say, oh, you know, I'm from here, I'm from there. So it's not just people just round the doors, it's actually, we do get people that travel to come and see us.
46% of UK households own a pet, with 24% being dogs. That's 8.2 million dogs in the UK alone. So it's no wonder that the Doggy Diner has become so popular. So after all this excitement, what's next for the Doggy Diner?
Again, we're franchise. We're not thinking about expanding here, but expanding the business. So what we're doing very, very good. So, you know, we're not expecting to change anything here, and we're here to stay.
After earning that award, this cafe deserves a treat.
Around 300,000 visitors are expected to visit Sunderland's Illuminations this year, following the 6-week event coming to a close at the weekend.
The 2016 Illuminations came to an end after a firework display on Saturday night, marking Bonfire Night.
Word on Wearside, Angela Burns has this report.
I think the obvious thing is, for me, not just as a councillor but as a local resident, is to see families out on an evening. Sunderland Council has been compelled really to introduce this £1 entry fee if we want to see the lights continue. So it's not just, you're right to say it's bigger and better, but it's got to be self-sustaining.
Well, it's hopefully going to be invested back in providing the same again for next year, and you know things are not for free these days. So, what's been your favourite part?
It's the tree.
The tree.
From previous years to this year. I don't know if it's people's holding on to the money, and I think charging £1 to get in the park hasn't helped.
It's cheap really for what you get, isn't
it? It's really good value for £1.
When you see the amount of visitors they had last year as well, it's a really good idea.
For me, the features that stand out of the single most feature would be the projection feature in the park leading down onto Roker Marina, and I think that's been absolutely magical.
Brilliant stuff there. Moving on to showbiz now, and County Durham X Factor star Samantha Lavery lives to fight another day in the competition despite dropping into the bottom 3 in last night's results show.
The 16-year-old from Coxo was joined by 4 of Diamonds and Sarah Alto and received the least amount of votes from the public.
However, Samantha was saved by the lifeline vote and Look finally ran out for 4 of Diamond.
They lost the sing-off with Simon Cowell, Nicole Scherzinger and Sharon Osbourne opting to send the girl group home.
While I'm a Celebrity Get Me Out of Here starts next week, and the big names heading into the jungle for the new series have been revealed.
Among them is County Durham Gogglebox star Scarlett Moffat. The Capital Breakfast Show host will hope to follow in the footsteps of fellow Northern East star Vicky Patterson, who won last year's series.
Meanwhile, former Countdown host Carol Vorderman, actor Larry Lamb and former Strictly Professional dancer Ola Jordan will enter the jungle, according to The Sun.
While Olympic hockey star Sam Quek, former England footballer Wayne Bridge and Emmerdale actor Adam Thomas will also be heading down under.
Now though, it's time to get update with the weather. Well, Beth's off tonight, so Andy's here. Good afternoon, Andy.
Good afternoon, Ethan. Weather now, bright or sunny intervals and scattered showers perhaps, wintry over high ground. The highest temperatures will be on the coast, but here will be breezy at times and it will feel a bit chilly everywhere. Maximum temperature of 8 degrees. Going into tonight, the wind decreases, light and most showers will die away, with only a few persisting along the coast. As the largely clear skies develop, so will a widespread frost. Minimum temperature of -3 degrees. Heading into Tuesday, a bit of a frosty but sunny start to the day, with the clouds and rain following in from the west through the afternoon. Top of temperatures of 5 degrees Celsius. Rest of the week we are expecting brighter conditions with a few showers. Thursday breezy with scattered showers and rain late on during the day on in Friday.
Thank you very much for that, Andy, for tonight's weather.
That's all from us today. Remember to check out sr-news.com for all the latest.
We're back next Monday, sometime to 12 o'clock with your word on Wearside. Until then, though, it's goodbye.
Goodbye.